Please stand. Join me. Ask Council Member Jordan O'Rourke to lead us in prayer.
Bow your heads. Lord, we come for you tonight, and first and foremost, thank you for shedding your light on us and allowing us to make decisions for the city of Bryant. Please be with us tonight as we help move Bryant forward and make those decisions in the best interest of Bryant and its residents. Thank you. Show the gratitude for being able to serve on this board, and we don't take that lightly. And we thank you for allowing us to serve. We say this prayer through your Son, Christ Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, I call this July 29th, 2025 regular city council meeting to order. Roll call.
Burgess.
David.
Higginbotham.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
Mosley.
Here.
Overmark.
Here.
Herminer.
Here.
Odell. Absent.
We have a quorum. Our first item on the agenda is the June 24th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Approve.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Presentations and announcements. Hold on.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Evening.
Just wanted to give you a quick update. First thing, I wanted to let you guys know that we received the Best Friend Paws in the Field grant. Now, this one was only for $1,000, but still, free money's free money.
Yeah.
That's right.
This program was actually a challenge to increase our return to owner rates and reunification before those animals ever came into the shelter. So if we found an animal that had just wandered away from home, we were incentivized to do everything possible and to come up with new ideas about how to make those reunions happen before the animal came to the shelter. So that's what we did. So that was the first one. We also won the Partner Up grant, and that was for $5,000.
Nice.
And that was a partnership between our organization and other in-state organizations to try to move animals around the state and try to save more lives via shelter transfer. So we increased our transfers for that month. Unfortunately, adoptions are down nationwide, so we haven't been able to do any more transfers with those partners. But we've been keeping open communication with them, and hopefully we can in the future. So that was another grant. Unfortunately, the ASPCA grant of $10,000 we did not get. So, but Rebecca did a fantastic job writing that grant for us, and we really appreciate her effort. And we're just really disappointed that we didn't get it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We still got $11,000 in grants this year that we did not expect, so we're still ahead of the game. Also, in other news, we got voted the best animal shelter rescue in Saline County by the Saline Courier readers. So we're very excited about
That's
that.
what we should.
That's not a surprise.
Very, very excited about that. So we had overwhelmingly good news, I would say.
Yes.
So, thank you, council.
Awesome.
for your
Good
support.
job. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
All right, I've asked Council Member Meyer to give us a quick update on the funding committee, and
It seems like we've been meeting for a long time, Mayor.
it does.
But I went back and looked at this. So we got the Stormwater Master Plan. We recommended that to council. The funding piece of it came to us in May. It seems like we've been going over it and working over it for a long time, but I guess not that long. But in the last month, 6 weeks, we've done a lot of listening to the community, listening to citizens, business leaders, pastors about that funding piece and how we implement the stormwater study. It's got some issues that we need to work through. It's it's a little too much, to be quite honest. And so we've got to figure out a way to scale back. We're kind of reworking some of the projects, looking for funding or ways to increase our revenue. One of the biggest pieces of the stormwater is really the detention ponds and the ditches. And so how we address that is really a critical part. So having said all that, staff needs a little more time to do some research and work. So we have tabled that. Our first big project we've tabled till 2027, and then we meet on August the 7th, if you would like to join us at 6 o'clock. And we will take up fire and police pensions.
Perfect.
That's it.
Excellent. Any questions? You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Chairperson and.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah, we're all-
You listen to people, you learn a lot.
We're learning a lot, which is exactly what we wanted to
Yes.
accomplish with this committee, so
I'm listening to people and meeting people.
thank you. All right, public comments. Okay. Going once, going twice. Seeing none, we'll move on to our finance report. Joy Black.
Okay, so bear with me. I've got a couple of things to read to you guys tonight. For the June ending report, it went out in the mayor's memo, my comments on that. Let me just read them into the record. Page 4, the sales tax revenue is 71.9 thousand higher than this time last year, but it's still 73K below the budgeted forecast. And I wanted to let you guys know, I read kind of that same metric every month. I did want to kind of point out to everybody that that's on a 1%. So you've got to triple that to get the full amount, but I do it on the 1% because the 1% is the general 1% for general fund. Page 5, the street fund decreased from 149 days to 139 days on cash on hand. That has to do with us moving the borrowed funds around for the capital purchases. Pages 5 and 6 are still drafts of the new cash reserve policy. I think that's really coming together, and I would love any feedback on that. I'm working on it. I put on page 7, the 2025 budgeted debt, principal, and interest payments in red. And then pay attention to the very last page of the report that shows you the original and the amended budgets, the fiscal activity for the year, and any outstanding encumbrances, and negative amounts in the current budget column indicate that that's an intended use of savings. We moved the money from the infrastructure fund 620 to water and wastewater to cover the related bond amounts in the month of June, so you'll see that. I did want to point out that I finally made some headway with our software provider, and I know that it doesn't really make that much of a difference to everybody else, but I have some pages in my report that had some little tiny amounts as outages for quite a while, and it really was bugging me, and I finally got those fixed. So on the pooled cash report, you'll notice that those are gone, and what it was an entry that took place in January that instead of going to 01 went to 10 October, and then could not find that for the longest time, obviously, so we got that taken care of. And let's see. Yeah, that's one. Okay, I think that's it for the regular June ending report, and that's the number one item I have tonight. Does anybody have any questions on that June ending report? It is activity for the first half of the year, so it's kind of a good milestone. Any comments, questions?
We're anticipating sales tax revenue, the second half of the year kind of rebounds.
As is typical, I'm hoping that we break even on our forecast by the end of the year. So I'm not overly concerned right now because this is kind of, it trends this way. And if you look at the 10-year data provided, you'll kind of see that up and down. But so I'm still hopeful that we make our forecast by the end of the year. So, good question.
Which is very positive when Joy says we're going to make forecasts.
That's right. She's got a plan.
Anything else on that one? like I said, I'm having some trouble here because there's so much stuff to put on
You need a
the
bigger
podium.
podium.
I do, I need a bigger podium.
Your
Just
ears
even
should flop out.
just for this, just for tonight.
Just for all right, any other questions? If not, I'll take a motion.
Make the motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
Okay, good deal, we got that one down. The next, budget adjustments. The amount that made the difference on general fund, the 71,000, is just the two parks ones, and those will be paid out of the amendment 78, and I've kind of said that. Did anybody have any questions on any of the other items?
Make the motion.
I've got a motion to adopt
Second.
and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
All right.
Now the time Joy's been waiting for,
No.
excited to
I am
finally get to present.
I am excited to actually present it to you guys, but I'm also nervous, and I told the mayor, when I get nervous, I speed up, so just, if you're not understanding anything I'm
It's a
saying.
safe space, Joy.
Yes, just, ask me to slow down or back up or whatever. Okay, so tonight, I'm gonna go over the annual comprehensive report with you guys, and, it's 130 pages long, so it's kind of a big document. You've each got a copy in front of you tonight. I've got a copy. So I broke it down and kind of thought I would, since it was me and not the auditors tonight, that I would go over the parts that are my favorite parts and the things that I think I would be interested in if I was sitting in your shoes. So this report does include the auditor's opinions, and I know in the past when the auditor presents to you guys, that's where they start, is their opinion. But it's their opinion and not mine, and so I'm not going to go over that. We had a clean opinion. It's great. Everything's good. You're welcome to read them. They're hard to read. There's things in here about internal control, grants. We do it based on materiality. One of the main things that I like about this report and doing this report is you can pick up this similar report in cities across the United States and compare our data with their data pretty easily. A lot of our goals are in this because, it'll show the original budget, the final budget, and then the actuals and how we compared with that. Oh, I need to do my slide. Sorry. I'm on second slide too. And then, I did just want to say that, for my team, this is not just checking the box. We try to consistently improve this, work on the report. So we have lots of, showing the growth of the city and learning while we're doing it. Okay, and then there's 5 major sections in the report if you look at the table of contents. The first one is the introductory section. It's got a letter of transmittal, the positions, and the funds outlined. The second one, the financial section, I consider to be a key area. It's got the management discussion and analysis. If there's anybody in here that follows the stock market and they ever call in on the Q4 quarterly earnings releases, that management discussion analysis is the same thing that's in the SEC publicly traded documents for those types of reports. So it's basically a snapshot at the end of the year that tells how did the year go, what did we expect, what happened. So if you were going to read anything, I would say read the management discussion and analysis. The third section is the notes. That's page 50 to 100. This has got a lot of extra detail, and unless you're just in love with that kind of thing, I would not spend your time poring over this. It's got the detailed notes on APRS, lot fee, and other post-employment benefits, OPEB calculation. It's got lots of details on the smaller funds. One of the pages you might find interesting is page 64, because that's a list of ongoing projects, and pages 66 through 72, which is about our debt. The fourth major section is the statistical section, and I'm going to get into it a little bit later and we can page through it. That's pages 101 through 123. There's 5 subsections there, and I would say if you first read the MD&A and you're really getting into it, skip and go to the statistical section because I think that's a really neat section. It's 10-year trend data, so you can kind of get a feel for the city's 10-year trend. The 5th section is compliance section. There were some questions earlier this year that kind of let me know maybe we needed to go over that a little bit more. The auditors look at our internal control environment every year, and they look not just from their regular independent auditor state, but they also attest to how we're meeting the state statutes for legislative audit. And then the other thing is the CFA, the Schedule of Federal Expenditures, is in that back part. So that's the third one I would look at if I was you guys. So the management discussion and analysis, I told you it's key points. City assets exceed city liabilities. The net position for both the governmental funds and the business type funds increased in 2024. That's supposed to be major funds. Oh, I messed up and said mayor funds. Major
I was a
funds.
little confused by
I
that.
know, major funds include. Yes,
There are no mayor funds.
There are no mayor funds.
Cutting checks.
Sorry about that. The general fund, street fund, designated tax, and the Bryant Parkway Construction Fund for governmental and water wastewater for business type. Stormwater is also shown separately as a management decision, which means by GASB, it wouldn't be shown as a major fund, but we choose to show it as a major fund. There are over 20 non-major funds for both governmental and business types. Page 30 is a capital review for the year, so that's a really neat thing that Crystal spends a lot of time on, and it'll kind of give you a snapshot. Page 31 is the debt. So we paid down old debt and issued 2 new bonds during 2024 for the meters and for Leah Circle for wastewater. Page 32 shows a 10-year recap by quarter of sales tax. So that's a little bit different view than what you usually see on the month-to-month basis, so it'll show some more of that trends that I was telling you about, so I kind of like that. And then overall, the ending numbers were similar to 2023, so the city is holding steady. We've definitely got some things we need to work on, but we've got a lot of things that are really going well, and so that wraps up the MD&A. The next one, the financial statements, I told you, I like this, obviously, this part. It's one of my favorites. The government-wide section on page 35 shows the capital assets and the debt on the governmental funds, but page 37 does not. If you read the letter of transmittal in the MD&A, it's going to tell you why that is. I'm not going to get into it here because it's kind of complicated. But anyway, you can look and find the capital assets and the debt on page 35. Page 41 through 44 shows a breakdown of the general fund by department, and so that's a really neat one. Page 47, 48, and 49 show the balance sheets, the income statement, and the cash flows for water, wastewater, and stormwater. So that's kind of how that section is laid out. And then the statistical section. So you've got these nice tabs in your book. If you could flip to the statistical section, because this one's the one that I think what happens when people who are unfamiliar with this report look at the report, they never make it to this section because it's in the back, and they miss one of the better parts. Because like I said, as far as just being a regular citizen and finding different things interesting about this report, it's got the financial trends, the revenue capacity section, debt capacity, operational information, demographic and economic information, and these categories are similar to the same categories that all of these reports for any place. So like, I know y'all are going to be like, Joy is the biggest dork in the world, but when I went on vacation in Destin, Florida, I went to their city hall and I asked for a copy of their ACFR and I looked at their statistics. And I have a copy in my office. And I mean, it was a great report and it was really interesting because I got to learn about the different parks and, anyway, so you can do that. I mean, I know not normal, well, I probably wouldn't do that, but you could do it if you wanted to. You can review, and if you're ever interested, you know what I mean, like in looking at how our stuff compares to other cities. So it's kind of neat. So let me just kind of go through some of these really quickly, the ones that I think are my favorites. So page 109, this is a great one because it shows your 10-year history trend on the sales tax, and it's got it broken down by the 20% for police and the 10% for parks. And so you can look at how those shape up each year over 10 years. And then on the next page, it's interesting because it's got the sales tax, the millage, the franchise fees, and the alcohol tax permits and revenue. So that's interesting. And then the next page has got the real property and the autocraft, the assessed values for the millage. So that's in there by 10 years. And then the last page in that section 112 has got real and personal mill rates and for the county and for the school district. So it stacks up and compares. And then the next section, the debt capacity section, is really interesting stuff too, because I think I get a lot of these questions from you guys about, well, how much debt do we have? How does it compare? The state has two guidelines, basically. Anything under 5 years is let's see, I think it's 5%. I don't have all of it memorized. I do the calculations every year, and then 20% on, 5% and 20% on anything over 5 years, and that's page 114 and 115. We just started doing that calculation back in 2019, so we don't have the full 10 years worth of data. So they allow you to do that. I've actually been building this stuff up since I got to the city in 2014. So, then the last one on page 116 for the debt capacity shows our debt and how we've been paying it down by debt issuance, which is, I think, neat. And then the next section is the operating information section. And I know during the budget season, we look a lot at the full-time equivalent schedule in the budget book, but it's also here in the ACFR. And it's different because this is, what we, after the fact, basically. So that's got some really neat details. And then the next 2 pages over have operating indicators by function and program and capital asset statistics by function and program. So, for instance, how many water mains do we have? How many miles of street do we have? And it's all 10-year trend data, which is really interesting. Demographic and economic information has got the population, the personal income, per capita income, median age, school enrollment, unemployment rates, and then the following page, 123, has got that broken out for the top 10 principal employers. And that's the end of the statistical section, which, like I said, I'm trying to keep this brief, but that's one of my favorite sections. And then the compliance section starts on page 124, and it goes into that internal auditor report on, or not internal auditor, the audit report on our internal control structure. And then the next page over 127 has got the schedule of federal awards. We did not have to submit that this year to the Federal Clearinghouse, which we have had to the last 2 years, but they increased the cap to $750,000 in any given year. This year, starting I believe next year, it'll go up to $1 million. So if we don't spend in the year, it's not about whether you get the award, it's when you spend it, because this is the expenditures. So if you don't spend it in that year, then you don't report it in the schedule and it doesn't go to the clearinghouse. So that's in there. And then the last page, page 130, is like I was mentioning to you guys, even though we have independent auditors that come in and they're not legislative audit anymore, our report still gets submitted every year to legislative audit. Legislative audit still reviews it. And one of the things they're looking for is this back page that our auditors look to make sure that we followed state statute. So this has got all of those items listed. And then very exciting, Crystal has been working on this and we submitted it, again this year, the popular annual financial report. There's a copy in your back of your ACFR, which is just like a little mini ACFR. So, if you've got, anybody that you're kind of wanting to introduce to this city financials, that's a good place to start.
Hey, Julia, can I point out in that picture, Jack's got the same shirt on he does right now that he does in that picture. I just wanted to point that out.
It's a good looking shirt.
It is.
So, but I did want to also mention that we just got back last week from Arkansas Government Finance Officers Association meeting where Crystal Winkler in my office was selected to be the Finance Officer of the Year.
Nice.
And Nicole Manley will move up to be the president of that organization for this upcoming year. So 2 really big highlights for my department. And I'm just so proud and pleased.
That doesn't mean we'll lose her, does it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, but
That's great news. Congratulations.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Because I don't know how long that took me, but I know I went fast.
You did good.
Excellent.
Okay, any questions? Good stuff, I'm telling you.
No major findings.
No major findings.
Gotta say the words.
No major differences between when we brought it to you guys before and brought it back. Some minor things, you know.
Always, yeah.
But any, yeah.
Good job.
All right, well, thank you. If you think of anything, oh, my last slide. I think I skipped mine. But yes, read it
Challenge. Read it.
and email me what you learned.
I will.
Yes, read it. and email.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Joy. No further questions. I'll entertain a motion to accept the annual comprehensive financial report for 2024.
So moved.
You have a motion?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. Now we got the America resolution.
Yes, this is a resolution just showing the city's support for the Arkansas 250 Commission. They are starting to work on our country's 250th year. There will be multiple things going on next year to celebrate this, and this is just showing our city's acceptance of that and encouragement of our citizens, and that we want to encourage this commission. I think most cities around Arkansas are doing a similar resolutions showing their support for this commission. Are there any questions?
I don't have a motion. I make the motion.
And the second.
Motion. Yeah, second. All in favor? All right, motion passes. America. All right. Human Resources, Charlotte Rue. Always glad to have you here, Charlotte.
Thank you. Mine is really quite easy. The first one is an amendment to the ordinance 2011-27. All I did was take out the specific references to the JSAP market study. I think I mentioned it before that company has merged into a much bigger company. Not thrilled so far, but I want to be able to move forward and do research and potentially bring a different style of study forward if we need to, but I wanted to get the specific wording changed so we had that freedom to do that.
It can be noted that none of your elected officials got a raise this year because we did not have a JSEP report.
Oh, it can also be noted that there is a typo.
Oh,
Former Mayor Alex Scott pointed out that it is associate's degree or above, so I will make sure to change it.
oh, there we go. Somebody's reading the agenda online.
Very glad.
Charlotte, is there a new resource that we're going to be using to base salary?
Right now, we're still using the data and the database that is provided by Trainery Comp Builder. In that system, they're still calling the reports JSAP reports. I just don't like the interaction. I haven't been a huge fan of the interactions that we've had. And the study will also get extremely expensive to conduct in the future. Like going from a $7,000 thing to like a $30,000 thing. I'm doing some work with salary.com. I have some demos going with them. They do some SHRM stuff. It's more of a nationwide thing, but we can really drill down into like our locations, Arkansas, and we can pick cities. I know there's been some feedback that we're not always satisfied with who we're being compared to in our studies, so we can drill down in some of that. I'm working with the mayor and Joy on looking at that kind of thing. And then just sort of deciding how we want to move forward, probably maybe workshop some things with you all and get some ideas on how we want to move forward with, compensation plans and policies for the city.
Any other questions? All right, do I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Make the motion to suspend the rules for second and third reading by title only.
All right, got a motion and a second, suspend the rules, read first, second, and third, reading by title only, and that's a voice vote, right? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes. All right, it's an ordinance 2025-5, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 2011-27 to provide that the salaries of elected officials shall be based upon the most recent adopted salary study rather than a JSIP study and for other purposes. Amending of ordinance number 2011-27 allow the salaries of elected officials to be determined based on the most recent adopted salary. All right, do I have a motion?
So move.
A motion,
Second.
a second. Roll call vote.
Martin,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bodell, absent. Higginbotham,
Yes.
Mosley,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Hermiter.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Do we need an emergency clause? No. Okay.
The second thing I have is a resolution amending the compensation policies manual. I did the exact same thing in that document. I just took out there were very few, but took out specific references to a JSAP study and generalized it to a most recently adopted market study. So no study would go into play without you all seeing it and approving it first.
Make
All
a
right.
motion.
Motion, John?
Second.
Second, Jack. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Charlotte. All right, Parks and Recreation, we've got a land donation, a new park, right? Matt Martin, Assistant Director. Keith is at CDI, getting trained, which is good. Needs that.
So with Parks Committee's blessing, we'd like to accept the donation from the Boswell family. I think Ms. Joyce has a vision to make the lot that's at the corner of Mills Park Road and Reynolds Road, right across from Cross Point Church. She wants to make that Ted Boswell Memorial Park. And so Parks is going to be responsible for the maintenance of it if we accept this. And but our design is for it to be a passive recreation park, somewhere to sit, eat, visit, maybe a bench, a future memorial or something to Mr. Ted. That's still in the works with what Ms. Joyce wants, but we would like to accept the donation if possible.
Any questions? Have a motion?
I make a motion to accept.
Second.
Motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Great job.
I'd like to point out that Mrs. Boswell planted a large new tree in the center of that lot about 3 or 4 months ago. So she wanted to make sure it had plenty of trees and shade.
Good. He loves those trees. Yes. We all do. All right, Butch.
Yes, sir.
All right. We got next, planning? Who's up?
I will do this one.
Okay.
This is for an improvement district. If we can call the public meeting on this at 7:03.
All right, I need to do that. I'd like to call a public meeting.
For improvement district number 137, Midland Road Estates subdivision.
So called.
Is there anyone here for the public meeting, public hearing? Mayor, I show no one has responded, and it's 7:04. We can close that public hearing.
So closed.
Mr. Terry Jensen is the attorney for the improvement district. He is here today if there are any questions. I've read through this ordinance and all the documents. It is all comports to the law.
And as attorney for the moving party, we've contacted the adjoining landowners, contacted the bank who has required consent, and everybody's consented to it. that is adjoining landowners. The bank's considered to it. We have the letters from everyone saying, you know, we're all for it, go for it.
Okay.
Happy to have it. So, you know, everything's in order. We've got the land description, got a map of it if anybody wants to see that. But like I said, we've met all the statutory requirements, and just here for the last okay from everybody to go forward with it.
Does this property have a ditch or a basin or?
That's a good question. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Tim or Ted, you want to?
Oh, two. Oh, boy.
How many acres is the
About 15.
district? 50?
15.
15, okay. How many parcels within
Well,
the
we've actually joined it to where it's one.
single parcel?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Any questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion to
Make a
suspend the
motion.
rules.
Suspend the rules, read first, second, third, by title only.
All right, got a motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Ordinance 2025-6, an ordinance to establish and lay off Bryant Municipal Property Owners Multipurpose Improvement District Number 137, Midland Road Estate Subdivision, and declaring an emergency. Have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Motion. Second, roll call vote.
Meyer,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Permitter,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Higginbotham,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes.
Rodell says.
Motion passes. We do need an emergency clause?
Yes.
Like, anybody want to make a
Motion to,
motion, emergency clause?
yes, sir.
Second.
Second, roll call vote.
Higginbotham,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Permitter,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Mosley,
Yes.
Rodell says.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you. And I've got the land descriptions and the letters from everyone approving everything. I'll leave it with Ashley
Thank you.
Thank you.
to make that a part of the record.
Thank you.
All right, council comments.
I have one.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Public Works, for the completion of the drainage project on La Crosse. The neighbors seem very pleased. Just want to say thank you.
Happy to do it. Very good. Any other? Well, I don't have any mayor comments tonight. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second. All right. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.